Manola, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, good. Look, thanks for letting me read your chart today. It
You're
is a
welcome.
real honor and a privilege because we can go in a little bit too deep, a little bit of depth. If there is anything that takes you to a place that you don't want to go, please let me know.
Hmm.
And if you have any questions or comments, just butt in at any time. Right, so this is your natal chart, and the natal chart is where the planets were in the sky when you were born.
Mm.
Now, I will bring things up, and you might say, no, that doesn't resonate. That's okay because you're living a life of free will. So take things as suggestions or a little bit of a guide, but you have free will to do whatever you want within that. Does that make sense?
Yep. Hmm.
Beautiful. All right. So we're going to start with your sun here in Pisces. So
Mm.
you are obviously a Pisces. And just making sure I've got this right, 14th of March, 1970,
Hmm.
3 p.m. in Melbourne are your
Yep.
birth details.
Correct.
All right. Great. All right. You have got the best imagination and vision. Um, but you can really harness your vision and imagination to take you wherever you want to go. Whatever you are capable of, whatever you want to achieve being a Pisces, particularly in career, but in every aspect of your life. And being a Pisces, the mantra for Pisces is I feel. You're very heart led, and love motivates you. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Beautiful. So you can read all about your Pisces side. That's all I'm going to go into there. We're just kind of setting the tone.
Mm.
um,
Beautiful.
so Pisces is ruled by Neptune, and Neptune is over here in your fifth house. So Neptune dissolves. And it's about imagination. Neptune transcends whatever it touches. It needs connection. It needs meaning and dissolution of separation. It's intuition and dreams and sensitivity. It's the unseen world. Um, so it can bring with it deep compassion and creative vision and a real softness that you bring to the way that you heal others. And we'll talk about that a bit more in your eighth house, which has got a lot going on there in terms of healing. Um, but you can be really threatened or confused if your boundaries are unclear, and you can be really threatened by harshness. I feel like you like to surround yourself with calm, cruisy kind of people because I also feel that's the kind of person you are as well. Do you understand that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, beautiful. All right, so the fifth house is the house of expression. It's about children, it's about play and romance, things you do for fun. It's also about sex. So the placement here combines the dreams and illusions of Neptune with the house of romance and joy and creativity. So it can bring operating through Scorpio. And
Ooh.
Scorpio is known for deep intensity
Oh, yeah.
and delving into those psychological taboos. It can create a really highly intuitive but secret approach to self expression. Um, and love within that can really be all encompassing, and very profound and a very transformative force. So I'm wondering, do you get lost a little bit in love? See it kind of as fated?
Or in my romance models,
In romance or,
or,
friendships? I'm
or
talking
Tyria.
like in general.
Not probably a little bit at the start, not as much. Like it's that as you know, the rose-colored glasses. Like I see the potential, and then glasses come off, and it's like, oh, screw. Yeah. So
Yep.
yeah. So it's and it can be very deep, and then I'm like, it's not there.
Yeah. You stole my line,
Yeah.
rose-colored glasses, exactly.
Aha.
Um, so when you're in a really creative mode, you may even feel like it's channeling through you rather than coming from you.
Yeah.
Um, and that will normally be around um, things like your pursuit of occult
Yeah.
stuff, any plan that you might be carrying, any taboos that you might, hold from either, learnt experience or from growing up. So the question here is, if you have any hobbies or interests, do you keep them to yourself? Unless you're in, of course, a safe space to talk about the things you believe in.
Um, what I did love was spirit art. Like
Yeah,
I met this teacher and she's been asking me to come back spirit art and I haven't done it for about over a year because I needed just to be in the space and she would give us a spirit art and then we just had to then put our own interpretation on the paper and then what in my massage room I had all my channelings around and people go oh my god but I put it in my room. Some people were very freaked out but it was somebody that was very intense, very scorpionian energy, intense. And I realized
yep,
I was triggering her. And then I took them down because then there's the Piscean and empathy, compassion, right? Which I shouldn't have because that they were part of my personality, and then I hid
yep,
them. So
yep,
I hid that side, and I haven't been back. And I know I've got to
yeah,
be back, but I've just had so much happening. It's not because I don't want to. It's just when I'm in, I want to do it properly.
yep,
I
yep,
love the spirit art.
yeah.
It
How
was a
many
way to
people?
express.
How many people did you let you know you were doing it? Only those that were close and trusted,
No,
or the
actually,
whole world?
the whole world because I put everything online. I put everything online, and not that the whole world sees it, but I just put whatever. Yeah, because I've got a social media page, and I just put things online. I put myself
Yep.
online a lot, if I like it or not. See, my throat's going.
Yeah, well, that might be some growth that you've had as you've got older in that area.
Absolutely. Oh,
All right.
that
So when we
that's only recently.
blend, yeah, 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 that does not surprise me at all.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when we blend Neptune and Scorpio, it can cause you to blur the lines between passion and obsession. Um, and
Ah,
I just want to say here, can you get a bit stalkerish
um,
when you're really passionate about something or someone?
no. That's
Oh,
that's being honest now. No, no.
yeah,
I wouldn't say no. Like if they're in my world, different. But if it's like someone I'm really like, no.
okay, okay. So,
But it's interesting that could come from something in my fourth house
well, I
that
was
that that I know I've got a tendency. It's really interesting, actually. You see this a tendency that can happen because there is something in the father stuff. That's why I went through the divorce because I knew I could actually have it. Did I do it? No, but could I have it? Yeah. Does that make sense without saying too much? Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
I was going to say the major life lesson here
yeah,
is to learn to ground your romantic and your creative
yeah,
into the real world rather than illusion. And a
yeah,
lot of the stuff I've talked about kind of go onto that side of illusion. So um, kudos to you. You're obviously learning to ground and putting that what that these placements are asking of you into practice.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I've just been
yeah.
following the intuition and not understanding. My understanding will come later. Like I do the feeling and then I'm like, oh, that's why I have to do that. Okay. That's why I'm doing the astrology because I have to do this for something. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
there's a lot of intuition in your chart.
yeah.
um, so your top half is really heavy, and that's your real visible life path where career and public life and your legacy are really prominent. So I feel that you live life out there for everyone to see. And then with your midheaven, we've got Mars on one side and Saturn on the other. And with this placement here, you really take on that Mars warrior energy, especially when you have setbacks in career. It's like, no, not going to be beaten here. I'm going to make it work. And then Sedna Seda is an Inuit goddess, and she was cast into an ICC and transformed into a deity of abundance. So
Mm,
it's like, I will survive whatever you throw at me because I'm a warrior. I can work my way through, and I'm going to come out on the other side of it abundant.
mm.
Um, so that's a really strong placement there with your midheaven. Okay, so Cancer is your ascendant, and Cancer is all about I feel. So, again, we're coming back to Cancer's need for emotional safety, connection, and familiarity. And they are really big themes of your chart, especially that emotional safety. So, this lifetime, obviously, you've come here to learn how to make yourself emotionally safe. And when we go over to the moon here, the moon, one of the things the moon does is it asks you to learn how to self-soothe. So it gives you the tools to create that emotional safety for yourself. But because you are an ascendant Cancer, you can easily cross between boundaries between human and spirit. So here we're bringing in the intuition, but it also may mean that people might see you a bit as spacey or out there. And depending on how you feel about the way you're perceived by people, you can really take that on and run with it, or you can disconnect a little bit from people that see you that way. And I feel for you, Manola, that you take it and run with it.
Now I do. Now
Yeah,
I
yeah,
do.
it's
And
definitely something you've grown into.
yeah, I've had to, especially after divorce and female relationships. Yeah, I've had to because I can be just too intense, like how I think, how I feel, how I speak, how this world
Yeah,
is. And since convert, absolutely.
yep,
Right? I
yep.
just think outside the box. Absolutely.
Yeah, great, great. All right, so we're going to move over here to the bottom of your chart and to your fourth house. So your fourth house is about foundation, and this is even though there's only one planet here, your fourth and in both your fourth and fifth house, they are both pretty loud for me, and I think you'll see why. We've already talked a bit about the fifth house. And now the fourth house is quite loud for me, even though there's not a lot of placements there. Call it intuition. Um, so your fourth house is in Scorpio, and Scorpio is about depth and forming intense bonds, seeking truth. But the one thing Scorpio is really good at is metamorphing itself through lived experience. So I feel like some of the stuff that you experienced in childhood, you've metamorphed who you are and how maybe how you respond to similar situations.
Mm,
Does that
mm,
make sense?
mm.
Yeah, yeah.
Very deep, very secretive.
Yeah, so your fourth house is your foundation. It's your sense of belonging. It's your home, your family, your private life, and it's also your emotional base. And when Jupiter here on the cusp of that fourth house, there is a need to grow and develop a sense of purpose. You need to have a safe, secure, private sanctuary home, like a fortress that you create that you can feel safe, almost like, a castle with a moat around it. It is how you feel about your home safe space. Does that make sense?
That's really interesting. Didn't have one as a child. Selling this one because it doesn't feel like home. And I used to talk online and said, and I realized when you go into my second house, that I've attached so much to a physical home. The physical home was here.
Yeah,
Like the safety
yeah.
home was here. And
See,
that's what, yeah,
yeah, as
yeah,
a
yeah.
child, you could have made that your bedroom.
No, because I shared it with
Uh,
sisters, so it was in the
yeah.
tree, like a tree house. Like anything I could escape, like at a reality, was my home. So that's where I felt home.
That's great. And know that kind of comes along with this mood to find ways to self-soothe, to find that place where you can create the emotional security that you need.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I feel here that there's lots of complexity around your childhood and even your relationship with your parents.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we've kind of touched on it, but personal growth is really tied to your ability to heal from your early childhood wounds and then
Absolutely.
transform that, the metamorphosis, past the hardships and into a sense of like inner authority, like owning it. I know what I went through in childhood. I'm not going to keep myself in that place. I'm going to metamorphose into the person that can get it or give it to themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And the fourth house can also be having a lot of secrecy
Oh,
around the
oh,
family dynamic.
oh yes. Oh yes. The secrets are there,
Yeah,
and I am the
yeah.
secret
And
keeper.
and yeah, yeah. And I probably, in a recording don't want to go much further.
Mm.
But it can be like extreme. On one hand, I had a fantastic childhood, got everything I needed. And then on the other hand, it can be I had a horrible childhood full of abuse
Yeah.
and really difficult parent-child dynamic
Yeah.
relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I'll probably leave it at that for today's reading.
We can talk. We can have another meeting after the recording.
We can, and there's lots more that I can talk about if we catch up
Absolutely.
again. Yeah. So I'm going to move to your eighth house because you've got
Woo!
so much happening in here. So eighth house is transformation, death, inheritance, sexuality, inner transformation, psychology, the occult, another theme that keeps coming up for you, and shared resources. So,
Mm.
your ruling planet is the sun. Sorry. So there's nothing here apart from Ceres in conjunction with your sun, but there's no other aspect to your sun. So, in that respect, there's really not much except for Pisces working in the eighth house,
Hmm.
working your sun. Would you say you march to the beat of your own drum?
Yes,
Yep.
always
Um,
have. It's
you know,
sometimes I don't know the beat, but it's my beat.
but that can manifest itself in feeling a bit misunderstood.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. And it can mean that you're curious about, again, traditionally taboo subjects like astrology, and it's probably why you're here.
Absolutely.
Um, but you really are capable of guiding others through their own emotional or physical rebirths.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And again, this is a theme that comes up all the way through your eighth house.
Yeah. So true.
Um, so you may be the financial manager in your relationships. Um,
No, but
oh, okay.
that's
All right,
that's
you've
interesting.
surrendered that control.
No, 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 no. But that's interesting. Go look at my when you look at my second house. This is where it's I'm stepping into that now.
Okay,
Right. So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
yeah, yes. So
So
yes,
stepping
but
away from the south node up to the
absolutely.
north
Was
node.
I? No. But now,
Yeah.
right now, stepping into that. So hell yeah. So I'm in that void at the moment. Like
Oh,
I'm
that's
just
great.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, this placement really involves bringing the dreamer in you out of the depths of the eighth house and transforming it into spiritual ideals and a greater understanding of yourself. But with Ceres in conjunction here, oh, I said that your sun isn't
Yeah,
truly
yeah, yeah, yeah.
unaspected. So Ceres is the asteroid of nurturing and transition. So it feels like here that it's working with the sun to help you transform
Yeah.
into what you said, you were getting to now. So you may also start to find a greater purpose in helping others. Um, and interestingly enough, through things like crisis and grief, or even major life transitions. So I know that you do massage, but there may be a little bit more coming along or that you could follow.
Well, it's interesting. So I work with oncology, cancer clients. I've
Oh,
worked with people taking it to the next. So either through survival or through death. I've worked in I called it aged care, which is the God's waiting room. And
yep.
then when I finished that just last year, I sort of got about seven people. It was interesting who I connected with, seven people through God's waiting room. They went. So that's interesting. I'm working, so this will be another big thing. I'm working with another lady at the moment, really working on the midlifers, the 40, 50-year olds going through their big separation, divorce, money, values, have to restart. So that's the crisis that we're really working with at the moment. So
Oh,
really
wow. Well, look, it's
yeah.
all that is reflected
Yeah. So
here on
it's
your eighth house. Yeah.
right. So yeah, the shamanic breath work, really getting into the depths of pulling back the soul, right? That's what started this journey for me as well, the depth and transformation and rebirth. I've been
Yep.
through many rebirths. So yeah. So that
Oh,
that's what we're on, girl.
wow. Wow. Just be careful if you get feelings of not being seen by the people that you're helping or feeling a bit unappreciated. And
Probably family.
so, yeah, you've just got to keep working on that and understanding that it's a life lesson here for you.
Yeah.
And when you have that I'm being undervalued or I'm being unappreciated.
Yeah.
Yep, yep. So we've actually got a sextile here with these three, and even possibly, with the North Node as well. So it kind of amplifies their energy. So I was going to ask you the question, have you ever considered grief counseling? But you're doing it with everything that you
Uh,
just told me you're doing
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. So that's my type of counseling work. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, great. Just be careful though within that, because there's a shadow side here. And by shadow side, it doesn't have to be negative. But there is a side of becoming a bit too involved in other people's crises, in other
Absolutely. That's
people's.
why that's why now it's not my circus, not my monkey.
Beautiful.
And that's actually really interesting with the massage clients. Really.
And
Absolutely.
just give the help and assistance that they need, and then allowing people to work through their own stuff without
Ab-
you getting all caught up with it.
yeah,
Because, and
absolutely.
your sun sign of Pisces and your sun can really help you with those boundaries.
Absolutely, absolutely, and also learning that I don't need to be best friends with everybody, right? Like because with
Absolutely.
everybody,
Yeah.
even with the aged care, I'm like boundaries. This is my work, right? I'm like, oh my God, but yeah, totally agree. Absolutely, that's taken a while, but I'm very good with that now.
Yep. Yep. All right. So, just because of time, I want to move on to your
That's
notes. So we've got your North Node up here. It is in conjunct with Mercury within
of
that
course.
sextile. And your soul's journey is directly tied to mastering communication, intellect, and shaping the deep psychological insights. And I feel like just from our conversation, you are really mastering that psychological insight within yourself. So the North Node represents what has to grow, and it
Yeah,
amplifies everything it touches. So this makes this eighth house placement a major evolutionary focal point for your lifetime. Um, I know you said you're quite happy speaking about taboos, and that is one of the things that it asks you, to be able to communicate with that hidden side and master your vulnerability and heal through words. Um,
yeah,
because that's what the North Node is really asking you to do here. Juno here asks you to learn to balance control and vulnerability without losing your individual identity in the other person. And remember, we spoke here about rose colored glasses and,
uh-huh.
totally surrendering it in the beginning.
Yes.
Juno asks you to keep your autonomy.
Okay, I'm trying, and that's what I'm working on at the interesting. That's why the house has been sold, and that's
Yep,
where the autonomy comes into it.
yeah,
Absolutely,
yep.
absolutely. Yep, yep,
So
yep.
with all these Pisces placements,
Bloody Pisces.
um, it's all about the Juno brings in relationships.
Yeah.
Um, with the North Node of destiny, more or less, it's in the area of the unseen and spiritual, as well as having that emotional side, not just for yourself, but for other people as well.
Uh-huh.
Um, and then we have Pallas Athena here, and she's almost in a gatekeeper position in the eighth house in Aquarius, and she's the asteroid of wisdom. So she
Mm.
gives you the ability to step back and look at the trauma and the secrets and look at them from an objective point of view. So with her being there, she's almost saying, pull back a little bit and use your wisdom. Learn the patterns that have preceded this point in life, and then work your way through the situation.
Yeah.
Um, because, yeah, she can really help you along. So we've got a few opposing planets to these eighth house planets here. So you've got Ceres opposing Pluto in your second house. There we are. You've got Mercury opposing Pluto in your second house in Virgo.
Uh-huh.
You've got the North Node opposing the South Node, and they always oppose each other, no matter whose chart it is.
Mm-hmm.
Juno is opposing the South Node again. So you've got a bit of pull and push here to do with everything we've just spoken about. So the second house brings you to resources, money, income, material possessions of value, what you consider is truly yours. And the key themes are self-worth, possessions, financial security, and the things you value. So you've got a lot up here of, intuition and exploring that inner world, as well as helping people. Is it going to lead you to financial freedom? Or, is it something that you're doing for love, but you feel like you should be paid for it? There can be opposition here within that as well. So definitely something to take into account. And then with Virgo here in your second house, Virgo is I serve. It's devotion, it's selflessness, healing, hard work. It improves and it organizes, and it likes to be useful and helpful because it gives of itself.
Yeah.
So, we've got all this opposition here. Do you tend to be a bit over analytical and self-critical of yourself?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's what Virgo's bringing in with it. So you do probably best in situations that are structured to know what you're going in for. It wouldn't surprise me when you go in and do some of this end of life work that you may even have your own little script, or
I just
standard responses for people.
Yeah, I just know. It's interesting. I hate routine, but I
Yep.
like structure. Does that need? Yeah,
South Node is
yeah,
all about ingrained patterns.
absolutely. And that's the three job things, right? So that's the working, like, yeah,
Yep.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
They're very
Yeah.
developmental. It's something it's so habitual, ingrained in me that I just saw my mother do.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. And then, it's in opposition to your North Node up here in your eighth house.
Yeah,
And the North Node's about soul growth. So it's can the North Node pull you up there to this soul growth, or are you going to keep in with these
yeah,
ingrained patterns and what's familiar? The North Node is really asking you to grow. Um, and with the South Node in Virgo, it does suggest a past life where you were focused on material possessions
yeah,
and self-worth.
yeah,
And it suggests a tendency to rely heavily on material security and unresolved issues around self-esteem and personal values. Now, I know that you're talking about selling your house, and I feel like you're getting pulled up here in terms of that material possession stuff and the fortress and the safety that goes with that for you. And you're starting to come up here in doing that into your North Node.
Absolutely.
Um, so your North Node is lessons and rewards. It's around themes of balancing chaos and order and learning to ground your emotions and values instead of uh, people, and working more slowly and deliberately to manifesting your dream life. And I do feel like that's all bound up with you selling the house.
Mm.
So well done, you. Moving into that North Node. But yeah, it's interesting with the South Node that I do feel here, again, coming back to the fourth house, that there was a real emphasis in your childhood about having enough and building generational wealth, or build your parents building wealth. Um, and that directly connects to this South Node and past life experience.
Mm.
All right, so I was going to finish off today by looking at a couple more planets and aspects that are screaming out at me.
Mhm.
I don't know if we have time though. Um, we might do one. How does that sound?
I'm all yours.
So I want to look at Venus in your ninth house in Aries. And you're laughing.
I love it.
And it is trying to your black moon Lilith down here in your trying to your black moon Lilith here in your
Hello.
first house in Leo.
Of course.
And then over again to where are we? To Neptune in your the Neptune in your fifth house.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
okay, and then to Chiron in conjunction with that Venus as well. So, lot going on there. So you've got a triangle there. Yep. So Venus, Black Moon Lilith, Neptune trines. They cooperate without friction, which is a good thing. They're where energy flows naturally. They're a gift that you might take for granted, or you haven't really fully developed. So you need to learn the value of natural talent. And we don't always need to only work with what is difficult. The easy things also need attention to grow and develop. So Venus rules blending, harmony, and attraction. She needs connection, pleasure, and worth. And she symbolizes absolute self-worth of
Hmm.
what we give and what we get back in terms of our own identity and worth. Black Moon Lilith is raw instinct. She's sovereignty. She refuses to be tamed. You're laughing. I know that you can relate to her energy.
I can.
And she's about exile and reclamation. So she needs autonomy, and she needs the truth and the right to it
Absolutely.
without being controlled. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, she kind of needs that. She's a bit of a freedom girl.
Absolutely.
And where we reject the control of conditioning. And then, she is trying to that fifth house as well. So, and there's a bit of conditioning going on there,
Oh yeah.
as well as your fourth house.
Mm.
Um, so your relationships can often have an edge to them because some may call it unconventional
Absolutely.
or wild. It can feel natural and normal to you. And I feel like that may be a little bit coming from your childhood. You want something different to what you grew up with. So,
Abs-
do you have a slightly unconventional relationships in your life?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And of course, then you obviously need a partner that allows and appreciates you for that.
I, I hope so. Oh, ta-da. Yeah.
Um, So, have you got any questions? Because we're probably running out of time at this point.
No. So if we look at the my south to north node, and
Yeah,
I have been lately bridging that gap. Is there an outlet that you can see that I would use?
because the moon, because for you, a real big theme here is some
Yeah.
emotional safety.
Yeah. So me
It
talking and
kind of
feeling safe. Okay.
underpins everything you do, feel, and think. You need that emotional safety. So the moon there gives you that
Okay.
ability to create your own little fortress for
Yeah.
yourself,
Yeah.
to create environments where in the home where you feel safe, like a
Yeah.
refuge for
Yeah.
you. But
Yeah.
even if you can't do that within your, say, your entire home, it
Yeah.
could be finding a little area in your home or in your garden
Yeah.
to create that little sanctuary for yourself where you can go and just regenerate. It's your
Massive.
safe space that you love to be. You can meditate because remember, you like to get away from people and meditate
Yeah.
and just
Yeah. Massage
ponder
room.
stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but let's just quickly have a look at Chiron because Chiron is the wounded healer in your ninth house here. And it's Chiron needs to heal,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
it's a soul level wound that
Yeah.
Chiron works with. So, um, you know, recognize the wounds as gifts,
Yeah.
and predominantly we're kind of coming down to this fourth house, I feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your fundamentals, how you grew up, your family, fourth and fifth house to some degree,
Yeah.
is really what I feel is where you need to heal, and the things that you can embrace Chiron's energy from. Am I correct that you're not far off a
No,
Chiron
so
return?
I had my Chiron return. That's really interesting you bring that up, Michelle, because I had my Chiron return in 2020. My official divorce came through. My birthday's the 14th of March. My official divorce came through, like, 'cause they got whatever they wait a month. The
Yep,
15th of March, 2020. We went through a global pandemic, 2 weeks. Now, what's my core woundings? Money and values and looking after myself.
yep,
What's my core woundings?
yeah,
Go look, right? So
yes.
then that
Yep.
on
So
the
then
world on the
money and
world
security,
stage,
we come back to,
on the world stage, what did I have to
yep,
do? Go to my North Node. God bless. God trust.
yes.
What did I have to rely on? My community that would come and secretly, I had like 65 boyfriends who would come and get massages, and we'd have codes, right? Because a lot of my clients were men and women that would come and have massages and give me cash. Like, so it's very interesting when you think, fuck, everything's just. We called them bags of tomatoes. So they would come for a bag of tomatoes, but it was just, it was. It was bloody
You know,
hilarious.
you can rely or work with the Chiron energy,
Absolutely.
even though you're past the return, to take all those things that, not just childhood, but the divorce and
Absolutely.
everyone's got traumas from COVID, and turn it into being the teacher,
Absolutely. That's what I'm doing
to
now.
help
Yeah.
heal others from it, because this is what your eighth house is almost screaming at
That's
you
absolutely,
to
Michelle.
try. Thank you so much, Manola. I've got some notes to send to you.
Oh, thank
We
you.
cover quite a bit more. So thank you so much for allowing me to read for you
You're
today.
welcome. That was amazing.
Thanks.
Stop record. Just, are you still
I'm
recording?
stopping it.